there's a place for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Every type, every size, every color, every shape, right?
Yeah.
We want to see, as human beings, we want to see real stories on the
Yeah.
stage. So it's not about perfection. It's not about all being skinny or all being this or all being that. We want real people. It's just you have to understand which archetype you are so that
Yeah.
you can then kind of target those auditions and try to get some work.
Welcome to the Red, Green, Blue podcast.
I just want to say first that this is Mindy Smoot, and we are so happy to have her. And she has done so much and such an accomplished woman, and really at her core, an entrepreneur. I think you're one of the most accomplished women I know. As we've gone through this discussion, I mean, to have to start in art, to perform at 20, and then have a strong performance career, and then start an acting school, and just keep pushing yourself and building a new house, which sounds like a really great project. And I mean, it's just really, it's good to have you. So I mean, do you still teach directly, or do you mainly just hire teachers?
So my dad passed away in 2020, and I took some time. I had 4 children at home at the time. 2 have now left-ish. One's on a mission and one's going to UVU, and then 2 still in school. Anyway, it was a time where I was like, I need to pull back on teaching in the classroom more. But I'm going back this year for the first time after a 2 or 3, 4-year break.
Yeah.
And I am teaching.
Teaching
school.
directly. Well, that's very satisfying.
Which, I love it. And I love working with the kids. And then I do help hire and train teachers and write curriculum and make sure that what we're offering is being offered in all locations. And we have an app that we've been building. So we put videos and lectures and material for teachers so that we can make sure it's called Utah COPA.
Yeah, Utah COPA.
Conservatory of Performing Arts. And we want to make sure that what's being taught is being taught across all 3 locations. And we're on the same page, and it's been great.
Oh, that's great. So I'm sorry, back to the Broadway experience, the touring show. That's such a unique experience, I feel. So what was the relationship? Did you guys become friends? Or, I mean, actors sometimes don't get along. I don't know how to put that. But everyone just get really bonded, or is there kind of different factions? Or, I mean, honestly, you just work together and then you go off and do your own thing with your one friend. I don't know.
Yes.
To all of those.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a big high school on steroids.
I mean,
kind
there's
of thing.
people that you get along with and jive. There's people you date, whether you should or not. And there's people that you'd rather not spend time with after the show.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of like the, life. But those that you're close to, you do get really close to because of that sense of community. They're it. They're your family. They're your church. They're your work. They're everything. So you do get really tight. So I did date somebody on the tour.
Oh, you did? See, I feel this inevitable.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Because you spend so much time together. I mean, that's it.
You do. We became really good friends, and he's a good guy. It was kind of a mess, to be honest. Not gonna lie. And it had a lot to do with why I needed to leave. Because you can't get out. To musical theater people out there, don't date your cast. It's really tough to you still have to go to work and you still have to sit there. And we particularly.
And if you break up, you still have to work, and you still have to. You can't
sitting on that 2x4 square foot piece of the barricade for 40 minutes every night. And so it was just really hard at 20 and 21 to break up and stay out of the relationship.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's all great. Those are some really good friends, and I appreciate those memories. It was hard. It was awesome. It was beautiful.
Well, yeah. Also, the act of performing, I think, is kind of like being in combat, and you bond, and you're you're working on the same goal, common cause, and everything, and then you might realize, wait a minute, we actually have nothing in common other than this play we're in.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that happen. You see that happen in high school plays.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some beautiful experiences and there's some bonding experiences that happen. I mean, I was on tour when Columbine, do you remember Columbine?
Yeah.
Happened? We were in Denver.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the theater right now. Civic something. Anyway, we were there and Columbine students had tickets to the show. The next day or the day after the shooting. This is a shooting that happened, a student shooting, and a lot of students were killed.
Yeah.
And they still brought the kids to see the show.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and afterwards we went out to help raise money for the Columbine students and families. So we went out and mingled and met with the audience, and those are bonding experiences, you know, and especially because in Les Mis, like, there's children and people that die. And
Oh,
at the
yeah.
end, did you see them lying side by side? And
Oh,
you're singing
gosh.
this with these Columbine students that have just suffered. Anyway, it's beautiful when the arts come together to be a healing point. And then,
Yeah. There's even the line, what is it? Why is it that I lived and you should die? I can't remember.
yeah.
What's that guy's solo? Once again, not sang well in the movie, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember
But
exactly
yeah,
what it is, but
but
yes,
it's one of the
beautiful.
students. It's his only song,
Yes,
I believe.
it's Empty Chairs. at
Empty chairs and empty tables. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Why
So,
it is you should live and I should die. There
yeah, can
go.
you imagine? Well
Oh,
done.
God. Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
You did do it. You sounded good. Better than Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
He didn't sing that.
They
But
didn't sing that. That was
Marius.
he won an actor though. I mean, he won again. Difference between acting and singing. Russell Crowe, incredible actor, and the guy who sang this, he also won. He's a big time art actor. He's won awards, I believe, and stuff, but not a good singer. But anyway, yeah,
anyway, you have those types of experiences that happen to you as a company and that bond you for sure.
yeah. No, boy, I bet. So working on the Tuacahn, and you're involved in with what's it musical vocal director there? What is his role
No,
title?
I'm on the advisory board.
Advisory
now,
board, yeah.
And I help oversee the educational side of their mission.
Oh, okay, yeah, they have a school
And-
attached to them, don't they?
They
Yeah,
did.
They did. Oh,
So
okay.
now it's Utah COPA runs.
Oh, so you do
the
it.
performing
Oh,
arts
great.
program
Well, that's
there.
nice.
Yeah, and also
You perform it there.
I have
I
performed.
saw
there.
it. Yeah,
I've
you're like
done
Mary
7
Poppins there or something.
Yeah,
I vaguely remember that. Yeah,
2013. Yeah, I've
Great.
done 7 seasons over the last 25 years.
Well, that's great.
there,
So, what is it
but-
like performing there? Do
Oh.
you get a lot of tourists from Las Vegas?
Tons.
Tons.
Yeah.
Because it's in St. George. A lot of people in Las Vegas will come up to St. George to go to Zion National Park and a few
Yeah.
other things around there. So you're a good stop for them.
They bring in a lot of buses for sure.
buses.
Yeah.
You're just part of some bus tours. So and
Yeah.
then we go to Tucson.
And
Yeah.
it's highly respected in Utah. I mean, people come from Salt
Yeah.
Lake and all over to come
Oh
see
yeah,
the
no, I have a
shows.
lot of friends who drive down from Salt Lake or Provo to go down to there for the weekend to see Tucson.
Yeah, to answer your question, I mean, my first season there was in 2001,
Mm-hmm.
and I played Annie. No, I played Liesel in The Sound of Music. The next season was Annie and Annie Get Your Gun.
Yeah.
So this is post Les Mis, and I'm now on stage singing outside, and I'm singing There's No Business Like Show Business.
Yes.
And I'm on the stage right rock, and I'm looking at that. I mean, the amphitheater holds like 2,000 plus seats now. They keep expanding it, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And as I looked out, I just had this thought, and it's never left me. It doesn't matter where you perform. If you're performing in something that you feel like has value
Yeah.
and is done well, it doesn't matter if it's at your church or your community, or if it's at a regional theater, or if it's on Broadway. It is equally rewarding. And so, I mean, I love Tuacahn. They're like family to me. I love their mission. They do. And I've watched over 25 years. Scott Anderson's the artistic director there, and he has done a spectacular job bringing massive connections to the theater. So they do things like what are called workshops, right?
Yeah.
So Aladdin, for example, Prince of Egypt have been, and many more, have been workshops, which means the Broadway directors and composers are involved in coming to see the show, shaping the show in the hopes of getting that ticket to take it to New York.
Yeah.
Which, like in Aladdin's case, it did. Prince of Egypt hasn't made it yet. But being a part of that process, so that means like Stephen Schwartz has been out there.
Amazing.
Yeah, working with the cast, Prince of Egypt, or Frank Wildhorn, Count of Monte Cristo is another workshop that they did. That brings in a huge amount of respect from the industry because actors want to be a part of something new. Something like if you can get on something and it gets legs to go to the city. I mean, look at Sutton Foster. She had done, Star to Be on Broadway and Annie, and then Les Mis and some other things, but she was understudying Millie in early modern Millie, and before it went to New York. And something happened to the Millie, and she went out. And so Sutton went on for previews, and then she got the job. So Sutton took it to New York. Sutton took it to New York and then won a Tony Award.
Amazing.
Now, from there, once you have a Tony Award and she's won multiple Tonys and originated many roles on Broadway. So actors in New York know about this theater in Utah.
No.
And
It's probably fun for them because they get out, they can go to Zion National Park, they're not in the city.
That Red
blast.
Rock.
Red
yeah,
Rock,
and
nothing
Blue
like
Skies.
it. Yeah.
I mean, it's
What a
just,
joy. What a beautiful venue to be working in.
Yeah. And so I've been helping as a vocal consultant is what they call me.
Yeah.
For the last 11 years, I've helped with the audition process. So I get to go sit in the room on the other side of the table and
Yeah.
watch people audition. And I've learned more doing that than any audition on the other side of the table.
No, it's true.
And
So what have you learned? What advice would you have for people auditioning?
well, it's interesting. I've watched it change too over the last 11 years. But I would say preparedness, like number one. If you're going to go to an audition, you need to know, and especially because anymore post-COVID, a lot of times the sides material is given to you in advance.
Yeah.
And if it's given to you in advance, you darn well better come memorized, because if you're not, somebody else is.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
And it just shows that you're not even really committed to the part.
Which
Yeah.
is so hard for actors to do, especially like for.
It adds more labor for them. I mean,
Yeah.
it takes them 4 or 5 hours to do that.
And when you're doing a repertory theater, like Tuacahn, which
yeah.
means like multiple shows, then you might have 2 or 3 sides from each show, and you're auditioning for 3. And so that can be, 9
that's interesting.
plus
Yeah.
sides.
Yeah.
But those people that come in, you can tell the professionals in New York, the people that come in and they are, you can hold your script. But if you have done the work and you know the show and you know the role and you know what's happening in this scene, what's the objective? How am I going to get it? Do I get it? The moments before, and you're engaged, that's who gets the work. Like I'll never forget. There was, it was amazing. Julian, I think is his name. Anyway, he had played Hunchback at a theater in New Jersey or something.
Yeah.
And he was auditioning to play it for Tuacahn.
Yeah.
And this was years ago. He came in the room and we were all sitting at the table. So these are like, and Tuacahn hires like Broadway directors, Broadway caliber directors, choreographers. They're all sitting at the table. It's a huge table of people.
Yeah.
He comes in and he's not too far away. Like probably you and I, maybe a foot back. And he hunches over in full character and he sings full out the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That what's the song?
I can't play them.
Frodo sings it. It'll come to me. Anyway, it's it's one of, not Frollo.
Okay.
Quasimodo.
Quasimodo
Sings it, yes, and it'll come to me. But anyway, he sings it about 3 feet away from the table. And at first, I felt like, because that's not what we do. Like it felt a little bit like a breach of space. And I felt like I was sitting back a little bit. But with his level of commitment to the character, to the physicality, to the story, to his voice, he finished that song and we all sat there like dumbfounded, silent, mouths dropped. And then the only appropriate thing to do, applaud. Yes,
Yeah.
applaud in an audition. And of course, he got the job.
Yeah, geez.
It was it might as well, we could have taken what he did in the room and just put it on the stage and it was ready.
Yeah.
And back 11 years ago, it wasn't that way. You could come in not knowing your sides. You could come in and the director would think, I can work them. I can get them there.
Yeah.
No. Anymore, actors that get the jobs are the ones that are 100% prepared, that are ready to be put on the stage. They've done the work.
And they're even coming with ideas.
Yeah.
And there's the director seeing if they like the ideas they bring to the part.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, no, it's a weird thing. During my very brief acting career, I would show up to auditions and it'd be like, people would just be dressed practically in costume. I mean, they would be like kind of alluding to the character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, like Little Mermaid, they might come in like kind of a purple summer dress or a teal summer dress, but you're going to definitely be seeing their legs because we know that's part of the role, So, and you want to hint to the directors, I would be great for this role, and then you choose songs and material that are complementary to the role you want to play. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day too. Understanding who you are, your archetype, and who you will play.
What you fit, what role you fit.
Yeah, so you're not trying to go for things that will never be in your wheelhouse.
Well, actually, we can talk about that because that's an interesting thing. Have you ever seen the movie The Room? Probably not.
No.
But anyways, the movie is considered the world's worst movie ever made. And the basic premise of it is there's this guy who paid for it, who directed it, who cast himself in the lead in it, who looks like the classic villain. He's such a scary looking guy. It's like he's just the villain. He's the bad guy. Sorry. He looks like it, but he casts himself as the hero in the movie. And he's even there's a movie done with, a major Hollywood movie done about the making of The Room with David Franco. James Franco. James Franco and David
Okay.
Franco in it. And James Franco plays the guy who is the villain. But anyway, and I think he won an Academy Award for it or something. I can't remember. But anyway, the acting teacher tells him that. He says, no, dude, you're a villain. You shouldn't be the hero. He's like, no, I want to be the hero. And so anyway, it's like having that kind of self-awareness of like where you're at and even maybe just kind of resigning, like what's his name? The guy who's in Sideways. I don't know. I guess in Sideways, he was kind of a romantic lead. But anyway, if you can see where you fit in this world of characters and parts and go for it.
Yeah.
And go for the ones. And then you're not disappointed because you only have so much stamina you can take. Whatever you say, you can say like, oh, I can go to every audition. It's like, you really can't.
Yeah.
Your time is limited. And so find the roles that work for you.
For sure.
So
I think that takes a lot of maturity and time to understand
Self-awareness.
who you are and some
Yeah.
resigning. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you're like, I want to play this. And it's just not ever going to be something that you will play. So some acceptance of who you are, what your gifts are.
yeah.
And then you can be more successful. There's a place. That's what I love about musical theater. There's a place for everyone.
Mhm.
Every type, every size, every color, every shape. Right?
Yeah.
We want to see, as human beings, we want to see real stories on the
Yeah.
stage. So it's not about perfection. It's not about all being skinny or all being this or all being that. We want real people. It's just you have to understand which archetype you are so that
Yeah.
you can then kind of target those auditions and try to get some work.
Yeah. And of course you can, I mean, there's always room to, oh yeah, this guy, he's probably most famous for playing President Adams. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Giamatti. Boom,
Yes.
got it. Paul Giamatti. Amazing actor.
incredible.
Maybe one of the best actors. But when he was going into it, he at no point was he said, I'm going to compete with roles for the same roles as Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Right. And
It's not his type.
it's just not his type. And the same thing Tom Cruise would not be able to do at
John Adams.
So it's like, yeah, I think recognizing where you're at. I mean, to me, even like it sounds bad because I think we're supposed to be like, well, anybody can be anything. But like when I was even in high school, I was kind of like, yeah, I never could be an offensive lineman. And I had a friend who was an offensive lineman and he was 100 pounds, 5 inches taller than me, 100 pounds heavier than me. And I'm not small. I mean, I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds. But I was like, yeah, that's what they look like. And more than that, I just hired 2 furniture movers to move some things around the studio here. And they showed up and there's these big Polynesian guys. And we had a 600-pound piece of equipment. And they just picked it up.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's
know.
just amazing.
a gift.
Like, it's like they had to get something out from underneath it. And one guy, using totally proper form, was just going bump. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that basically meant he effortlessly squatted at least 300 pounds.
Wow.
So anyway, we all have these things we're born with,
We have
things
our
we're good at,
carnival
talents.
tickets. Yes.
We're
we have
carnival
those-
tickets, and it's finding where you fit.
I think that's a
Yeah.
huge part of our mission in life.
Yeah.
It's just figuring out like what inherently did I come with
Yeah.
and what brings me joy.
Yeah.
And then spending time cultivating that,
Yeah.
whatever that is. And it can be many things, right? I love a lot of things.
Mhm.
I love gardening. I love interior design. Like we don't have to just pigeonhole ourselves into cultivating one thing,
Yeah.
but developing those like inherent gifts, that's a good part of why we're here.
Yeah, no, certainly, and that's a good even just life lesson. Like, and I think if something like particularly in the arts, to me, there's like an effortlessness about it when you find kind of the thing you're in. Like you can find your thing. It's just kind of like things kind of click, and you're like,
Yeah, I think
ta-da.
that comes because of practice.
You know, because it becomes
Right?
kind of practice of being ready. I'm not
Confidence
saying
and-
like you should
yeah.
expect to be like good, but it's just kind of like when things click, you're like, wow.
But that's,
Yeah.
it's because you've gotten to a place that it is comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
That it is effortless, that, those 10,000 hour theories of
That's true.
expert. You get to a place where it is easy to watch because you're comfortable doing what you're doing. So then the people watching you are comfortable watching you do what you're
What you
doing.
do. What you do. Yeah, no, that's very true. So anyway, and especially on the casting, so you need to be more prepared for roles now than you used to be.
Yes.
And so what other skills, and to me, like when you're watching castings, which I've done way more than I've done auditions, is like the people who fit, they kind of stand out like a peacock. I mean, it's kind of not even like a subtle thing. Like you'll see 200 people and it's like the 5 that could do it bam, they're there.
Yeah.
So how do you be that person? I mean,
I think it just comes from
being prepared,
auditioning a
talent,
lot.
and to me, confidence coming into the room.
Yeah.
And also just like you've done it before. Because one thing they don't say is it is a job interview in a lot of ways. And the last thing you want, at least in film, is someone who's going to show up on set and just be gawking at the lights and not know how to navigate the set. You want somebody who knows what they're doing, and someone who knows how to audition shows that.
Yeah. So you learn how to audition by auditioning.
Yeah.
So just keep trying, right? And prepare for the audition and keep developing your own talents, because as you do that, you become confident and natural. And I think lowering the expectation in the room that you need to be perfect. Nobody at the table is expecting perfection. No rehearsal process has happened. The audience isn't here. We've got time to become more. Let's be honest. We're never going to be perfect. It's live theater. That's why we love it.
Yeah.
But we're not expecting to be even anywhere near perfect.
Yeah.
But I think lowering the expectation and just being willing to be present and be yourself and be confident and know that you've done the work. Then if you're right for the part, it's yours. And you just have to keep auditioning and keep going, and eventually doors open if you're good at this and if you care and if you keep trying. Getting bitter or frustrated is never going to help anybody succeed. And the industry is small. The world is
crazy small.
Yeah.
Honestly, once you get in a field, photography is such a small field, and film too.
Yeah.
It's weird. When you're out, anyway, it seems big when you're in it. But musical theater is super.
It's a small world.
Small world.
I would emphasize too to people that are in the industry or want to be in the industry that being a good person matters.
Yeah, you want to be easy to work with.
If you've been in a cast and you were a stinker in any way, or irresponsible, showing up late, or causing drama, or whatever it is, that word gets around, and people don't want to work with people like that, especially in musical theater. It's not like a film. Films can last a while where you're working with the same cast for quite some time. But when you get cast in a musical theater, Broadway,
you're living with them. It's not like you're on set for 2 days. Yeah.
And that, I don't know, this is a fine line, but there's pink contracts and white contracts, or at least there were. And one is for ensembles and one is for principals, the leads. And if you get an ensemble contract, that's why when I was a 12-year-old or 11-year-old sitting in San Francisco watching the cast that I would join in 8 years, some of the people were still in the show when I joined it that I saw.
Amazing.
Playing roles, because that contract, as long as you show up and you do your work, unless the show closes, it's yours.
Is it like a union thing?
Yes.
Wow, that's something. So that's really sweet. You do not want to mess that up.
So as you're looking to cast these people, Tuacahn is a 6-month run. That's still a chunk of time.
Yeah.
A Broadway tour, it could be years. Years that people, the guy J.P. Doherty that played Thénardier that I saw when I was 12 had already been playing it for a long time. When I left a decade later, he was still playing the role. So, it can be a long time. People are casting people they could live with.
Yeah.
That they could be family with. And so if you're not cool, you're not getting cast.
Yeah,
so if you're not getting cast, you might want to do a little self-evaluation and think how can I become a better person?
No, you see that with beginning actors. In film, to me, it's amazing. I think some people, they get cast and they're like, great, now it's the time I have power and I'm going to show everybody it.
Yeah.
And then there's others who are like, oh my goodness, they let me in. I'm going to do everything right. And you really want to be, even Tom Hanks says he's the latter rather than the former rather than the latter. You really want to be that person who's just really grateful to be there, because quite frankly, people do a lot of work for the actors to look good.
Oh my gosh.
To me, the amazing acting is really, in film in particular, but in stage too, there's a lot of people working whose job, the lighting people, the sound people, whose whole job is just to make you look good.
Yeah.
And you're taking advantage of all that money, all that effort to chant for your performance ultimately. And so if you're showing up late or ill-behaved, it makes the people who are doing that work to make you look good really resent you.
Yeah, for sure.
And the boss, the producer, the director, whatever, they work with those people and value those people as much as they value you, and maybe even more, because they work with them over and over again, whereas you just happen to fit this part of this time.
So
and
true.
So if you make them mad, they don't want to be with you.
Yeah, be a good person.
Be a good person. And again, I don't know where that comes from. To me, it must be some sort of like insecurity that like I now want to assert that I'm better than everybody. I don't know.
Insecurity.
It's insecurity. It's
Yeah.
got to be rooted in insecurity because that certainly doesn't come from confidence.
No.
So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, really don't do that. It's amazing to me how common it is. And I even had a close friend who like was ill-behaved on a set, and I was also friends with the director. And so I kind of got both sides of the story, and I was like, no, why in the world would you do that?
Yeah.
And she went around and told everybody like all the things she had done previously. And even though some of the actors had I don't know, C roles in like Game of Thrones and stuff, were certainly more accomplished than her. And I was like, why would you do that? I mean, just why?
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, and also on that front, the white-haired woman in Game of Thrones, I've heard her talk about her audition for Game of Thrones. And she feels one of the main reasons why she got that part was after our audition, which was all serious and I'm going to destroy the world, as the part is, and I'm going to become the Master of Thrones in this Game of Thrones. Anyway, she did the funky chicken dance after her audition. And it's great because they're like, oh, good. That's not what the part is, but this is somebody I can live with for the next 7 years.
Yeah, it's so true.
You know, so yeah. And it's funny because after she did that part, she did a bunch of comedies because I think she's actually at her heart a comedian, not a serious person, which is good. You don't want to be like, you want to be fun to work with.
And versatile.
And versatile, for sure. So do you have any any projects you're working on in the future, or what do you hope to accomplish with COPA, or
those
bigger,
are good
more,
questions.
better? Or?
I mean, like I was talking about eggs in one basket. I love a lot of things. So we're building a home, and I'm loving the design process of that and
That's
digging
practically
into.
a job. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's artistic.
Yeah, it's artistic. Yeah.
I love that, and I love history. I love kind of Facebook Marketplace and finding cool things. So that keeps me busy.
Mm-hmm.
I love gardening, and we're moving because we're going to do a homestead farm and raise some cattle for beef and milk a cow. And we've had bees, and we want to plant an orchard. And we just, where
are you building this place? In like Santa Quinn or something? Mapleton. Okay.
Yeah. In the process of kind of following that dream. So that I'm loving. I'm writing a new curriculum. I write a lot of curriculum for COPA, and we're writing a more focused musical theater voice acting track for our students. And so I'm writing things like expanding upon archetype and, how to do source work, how to dig into a show, how to dig into a character, how to understand the history and the time period of what you're, the story that you're trying to tell and the character you're trying to portray. So I spend a lot of time doing that. And I actually love family history. So I'm on our Smoot family history board as the family historian. And there's like 15,000 Smoots now. And I love family history. And that's been something that occupies my time too. I'm thinking about maybe auditioning for Tuacahn next year, depending on their season. There's a show I've heard but can't say yet that they might be getting, and it's one that I'd like to do and cross off the bucket list. It's actually one I've done, but a different role. And so anyway, pondering if I can make that happen. It usually happens when the stars align, and we'll see.
Yeah. Hey, I just remembered how I knew you were playing Mary Poppins. This is a funny random story crossing. I had a show up in the St. George Art Museum, and we had the show opening, and someone came in who had just been to Tuacahn, and they had the program. They said, the show is just amazing, Mary Poppins. And they opened up the flyer, and they're like, this woman was great. And it was you.
Oh,
and I was like,
nice.
I know that person.
That's
randomly.
so nice.
There you go. So there you go. They're famous. Anyway, well, you never know who you affect, right?
That's why a lot of why we do this.
Yeah.
Theater is impactful.
Yeah, it is.
The arts are impactful, and really, like as an audience member, I've been changed watching stories be told, and significant switches in paradigm shifts in how I parent, or this kind of partner, wife I want to be, or how I want to spend my time. Those things have happened as an audience member. And I can only hope that in telling beautiful stories like Mary Poppins or, Sound of Music or My Fair Lady, or these great stories, that somebody in the audience might think, hey, I want to go home and do that a little better. Or I want to avoid that so that, particular consequence that just happened doesn't happen to me in my life. That's why we tell stories, right?
Yeah.
Tell stories to make a difference. And so I love that part and responsibility of being a storyteller.
Yeah.
And it's been great.
No, it's true. I mean, really feel art has many purposes, but one of them is to know we're not alone, that we're going through problems that people have been through, and seeing how they they react to them. And then the other thing is to kind of give us context in problem solving, hopefully, so when we encounter the thing, we're not totally blindsided by it. And I mean, those are really valuable things. And I mean, that's what fairy tales do and a lot of other things.
They've been doing that since early BC time periods.
Since before writing was invented.
Yeah. I mean, and even like the Bible is stories that are put to paper for us to learn. And so the art of storytelling and the purpose of storytelling in the arts is a long history of impact. And it's a beautiful thing to be a part of. Whenever I'm on the stage, and I don't crave it, to be honest, like it's not something that I need to do. My family is number one to me, and I've got so many things that bring me a lot of joy, friends and people and gardening and all of that. But when I have the opportunity to stand on the stage and portray a character and tell a story, like, for example, in a show like Les Miserables, with such a beautiful message, it truly is an honor. It's an honor to participate, and to participate at a level like Tuacahn does, or to have been in a Broadway touring company. Those are things that I feel incredibly blessed that I've had the chance to do. So it's fairy tale.
No, it is. I mean, it's a privilege to work in the arts. I mean, I have to admit, sometimes I explain that to younger people on set or younger people working in the discipline. I'm like, this is an absolute privilege we get to be here. Because I think, unfortunately, the perspective they kind of take it for granted is like, I mean, I have friends who do the most boring jobs ever. And we get to do this, and we're here no matter what you're thinking. Like, this is a really amazing opportunity, even if you're involved in a minor way.
Yeah.
You are here working this. Nothing's boring. As my assistant just said, she said, I mean, she came from a maybe more routine retail job to become my assistant. And her comment was, it's like, yeah, I feel every day here is like one of those sitcoms with like one of those laugh tracks or something. Like, we're always having like quirky, random things happening. Yeah. And it's true, we do. And we have especially working in film, since we supply gear, equipment and process film and things like that, and then creatively involved in some producing things. Like, everyone's kind of a character, and they're fun people to work with, and they're dynamic and they're interesting, and that's why they're here. Whereas you go out into a lot of other things, they're not. So it's really a delight.
Creative people are entertaining.
They're entertaining by design, and usually that's why I say about people in film, they're generally hardworking, interesting, and super smart, and that's why they're here. Because it's such a competitive field. If you're not those things, you don't last.
It's so
and
true.
So I'm sure it's the same thing in musicals, and theater.
Is.
Yeah. So
there's so many talented people. There are so many. So it comes down to a lot of other things.
Yeah. No, it's true. 100%. Well, thank you. Well, I just want to say first that this is Mindy Smoot, and we are so happy to have her. And she has done so much, and such an accomplished woman, and really at her core, an entrepreneur. I think you're one of the most accomplished women I know as we've gone through this discussion. I mean, to start an art, to perform at 20, and then have a strong performance career, and then start an acting school, and just keep pushing yourself and building a new house, which sounds like a really great project. And I mean, it's just really, it's good to have you.
Thank you for the invite.
And we are really, this has been a very enjoyable conversation, and thanks for coming. Oh, and I always forget to do this. Darn it. My assistant, I even had her print out things to do on a podcast to improve comments. If you have an experience in acting or an audition experience, comment below. We'd love to see it. Secondly, like and subscribe. We get tons of viewers, but subscribers still matter. They've devalued them, but we still would like you to subscribe. And more than that, it makes me and my assistant super happy. But again, if you have any comments, any experience with music, dance, theater, even if I did it when I was a sophomore and then I switched to soccer, and it gave me confidence, or whatever influence it had in your life, I'd love to hear that too, because I'm a big fan of hearing people's experience in the arts.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's why we do it. So thanks for coming, Mindy.
Thanks for the invite.
Okay, bye.